a journalist at our sister station, KSDK in St. Louis, has gone viral. In fact,
she did.
Today I just looked. It's the #1 trend, the #1 search on Yahoo.
Wow.
And it's all over a segment she did on New Year's traditions and foods that people eat, and a comment she made about dumplings. Take a look.
So we've got a list of what's included in a traditional first day of the year meal, and these foods are said to bring good health, wealth, and luck. Grains actually symbolize wealth. We can guess why. I ate dumpling soup. That's what a lot of Korean people do.
Now, in response, the anchor Michelle Lee received a voicemail from a viewer that complained about her being, quote, and this is the viewer's quote, very Asian. Michelle posted a video to Instagram playing the woman's voicemail. The woman said, quote, your Asian anchor mentioned something about being Asian and Asian people eat dumplings on New Year's Day. I don't think it was very appropriate that she said that, and she was being, quote, very Asian. She can keep her, quote, Korean to herself, because if a white person would say that, they would get fired, end quote. Wow. All right. So Michelle's Instagram response went viral. Like I said, it's everywhere. And the hashtag very Asian is trending all over Twitter. News outlets like CNN and TMZ reported on Michelle's story. And to talk to us all about it, please welcome Michelle Lee. Michelle, we thank you for, first of all, I love, there you are.
Hey.
Thank you. Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New
Same to you.
Year. Listen, you are in the middle of a firestorm right now. I can't believe that this happened to you. Tell me, and I want our viewers, because a lot of our viewers have already written in, some of them of Asian descent, saying that similar situations have happened to them. How did it make you feel when you first heard that woman's voicemail?
Oh my gosh, you know, I'm trying to think, like, immediately I was shocked. Because you kind of have that initial reaction where you're in shock and you laugh and you're like, what in the heck just happened? But then I walked away and I was disheartened and really overwhelmed. I had to do the 10 o'clock news, so I actually started crying like right before the 10, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna, get it together. And then I went to bed feeling like so down. Like I just thought, like, what is wrong? What's going on with people? And so yeah, I just felt really bad about myself, honestly, but then, Sunday was a different story.
Wow. Michelle, I just want to say, I'll come over for dumpling soup anytime you want. You come over to my house.
I'm going to already be sitting there.
Yeah. Michelle,
I love it.
What makes this planet so great, Michelle, is the diversity, the culture, the traditions. When I traveled the world, I really fell in love with people and how different they were from me, and I learned so much. And I just wanted to put that out there because you have so much support. Your Instagram went viral, obviously. That's what we're talking about. Tens of thousands of people saw it. You got this terrible message, obviously, which we're talking about. But what did you think, Michelle, of all the positive messages you got and all the support you got?
Great question.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll be honest. It's overwhelming. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's so cool for people to share their own stories and, send pictures of them with their families and their New Year's dinners. And I don't think I'll fully be able to recognize what has just happened in the last, 36, 48 hours. For a long time, but it made me feel like, okay, the community is awesome. I was feeling so down about one person, but look at how many people have made this such a beautiful moment. And then that call became a gift. A gift that I kind of came in a weird way, but it became like a really special gift.
Absolutely. I want to get into what this upset this particular person. She said that if a white person went on air to talk about what white people eat for New Year's, they'd be fired. Talk to me about what you think about her point. I feel like white people do that every single day, all the time, right?
Well, I was thinking, didn't I just read a bunch of things that, Americans eat for New Year's? And granted, actually, I ate all those things more often for New Year's as a tradition when I lived in North Carolina. I never grew up. I grew up in Missouri, and I never grew up having traditional food on New Year's Day. So, I just thought we celebrate so many things that are American holidays that kind of maybe leave out a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm like, isn't the default kind of one way. And that's what I said in my post. You know, you can't be mad at the default. Like the default might be like, oh, Americans do this. Well, what Americans do this? Maybe white Americans, but like there are a bunch of people who are Americans who might do something else.
Right.
And so it's just like, hey, I see you in the back, you know, just like shout
Hello.
out. But yeah.
That makes sense. All right, one of our own viewers commented on your story, upset that if a white anchor were to make a comment about Asians or Koreans eating dumplings, they'd be fired. So if I said, oh, don't you eat dumplings? What do you say to that? And I know this is nuanced, but I think it's an important conversation to have with it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if one of my co-anchors said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, that's right, I'd do it. You know, like it would just depend on the context. If you know someone and you know that they do that and you're trying to be inclusive in the conversation, I feel like that's a natural thing to do. But if you are coming at it in a different way, then it's hard. I mean, that's a really hard question to answer. I don't know if I'm prepared to really answer that one.
It's
I wouldn't be offended if one of my friends said that, you know, pointed it out to me.
Michelle, I think, and on this show, that's what we do is we unpack those things. And I think it boils down to discernment, to your point, Michelle. Yes, because we don't want to give permission to people to just, you know, say very discriminatory assumptions, tropes. So again, use discernment. If you know someone's background, and I think that's important to note because I want our viewers out there to, if they have a friend that's of a different heritage than them, a different race, descent, whatever it may be, that they can have those conversations. But again, underscore discernment, right?
Don't assume.
And I would say never put it in writing. Like, don't put it on a
or voicemail,
because people can't read tone in text. You know, or voicemail.
That's a great. Well, I mean, one thing that I did take from that, what that woman said was she told you to keep your Korean to yourself, which I think would be very difficult. How do you do that? I don't know how to keep my black to myself. I'll work on that in the commercial break.
I know.
So like, you know, obviously we have these jobs that we love. We're on television, and so we're going to get comments like this, racist comments like this.
Sure.
What can you tell me about how you deal with it? Because it seemed like, Michelle, this one got to you. Why did this one get right to you to the point where you felt like you couldn't do the 10 o'clock?
I think for me, it was the audacity and kind of like this confidence from this person to be like, you need to keep your Korean to yourself, you know? And I think, honestly, we all bring our own experiences to the table. And so for me, I was thinking, oh my gosh, so I can be Asian when it's convenient for people, but if I'm too Asian, then it's inconvenient and then it's a problem. And really, I think all of us have something like that, you know, like, I mean, say you're a woman. You can be a woman until it's not convenient for someone else. You know, I mean, or a mom or whatever. You can insert anything. But I think for race, you know, it goes back to also the fact that, like, I've lived in this body, lived in this skin my whole life, and this isn't the first time. This isn't the worst thing. But it's like, you know, you get tired of absorbing all of that. It might be new for someone else, but you're like, I'd like to go a year without having someone say something racist to me, you know, like just you know, every year you experience something. It just never ends. So, but there are people who get, you know, hurt or worse. So I want to be really careful about, you know, acknowledging that people actually die because of racist or racism.
Amen, Michelle. You are, listen, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, but if there's any silver lining, it's the fact that you're turning this into a teaching moment. And I hope all of your viewers, our viewers, can be more empathetic because of your story. And I hope that person that left you that voicemail hears you and they can re-examine and relook at themselves.
They should.
They really should.
Yeah.
And we hope that you can come join us on DBL.
Soon.
Once the pandemic's over, right?
I would love that.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
I would love that.
We also want to thank Carol Fowler, the content director at KSDK, because she brought us the story. She even though we would have seen it on Twitter, but we want to thank her.
Shout out to Carol.
I know. Also,
shout out to Carol.
Also, we hope to see you soon. Okay.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
And enjoy your new year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
And your dumplings.
And you know what? Every culture has dumplings, pierogies, pelmenis. Who doesn't like a dumpling?
No, everyone likes a dumpling. I know. Thank you, Michelle.